What is this, Mr. Sulu?
Hey there, Stu. How are you doing? Just getting things set up here. I was trying to figure out where we last left off in our last stream of Atari 50th anniversary so that I'm not replaying previous stuff that we've already done. So it looks like the last game we played was Caterpillar. So at least now I know where we left off. Anyway, how are you guys doing tonight? It's a bit delayed, but we're going to be playing some more.
You were saying something boring last time.
Probably, yes. Very boring. I'm telling you, it was all very boring. I'm telling you. Anyway, so we're back at the Gamer's Grotto with more of Atari 50th Anniversary Celebration on the PlayStation 5. So where we last left off, we were still in Chapter 1, and there's still a lot of stuff left to explore in this collection. So we're at Caterpillar, was the last game we played. I feel like I'm gone too far right here. Hold up. Where was Caterpillar? I thought it was... Must have been in one of the sub-menus.
How are you?
Hey there, Lewis. I'm doing good. How are you doing? We definitely did Lunar Lander. We covered Touch Me. We covered Asteroids. Okay, Centipede was the last one we did. Alright, so we're on the Tempest now. Alright, cool. I just needed to get my bearings here. There's a lot of content here. Alright, so Tempest, the advent of color vector monitors meant that Atari's vector games could now burst with a rainbow of crisp, bright hues. First among them was Dave Thurer's Tempest, which used the new graphics to create a striking pseudo 3D playfield on which a frantic shooting contest took place. Atari is defining the future. Tempest's Flyer explains two of its key innovations: Atari's color vector graphics technology, dubbed Quadrascan Color, and the new Skill Step Level Select feature. Alright, so I guess I'm forcing myself into more torture with Tempest. Platform arcade, release year in 1981. Programmer Dave Thurer, already haunted by dreams of a nuclear...
This pack how many games has?
How many games has? It has over 100. Programmer, so it has games going from the 60s all the way up to modern times. So they do cover more modern Atari games in the later chapters, so there is a lot of content. Programmer Dave Thurer, already haunted by dreams of a nuclear apocalypse from creating Missile Command, also had nightmares about a pit teeming with crawling monsters. The abstraction of that idea became Tempest, Atari's first full-color vector arcade game. Okay. Shooting, okay. I'm shooting at things as they pop up. Alright. Whoop. That is not what I wanted to do. Yes. Novice. Dead already. Alright, cool. The controls leave a lot to be desired. Oh, well, that's cool. Interesting. level 2. One step closer to my demise. Not gonna lie, this is actually kind of cool. I like this. Inventive, unique, different, confusing. And I'm dead. Alright, well, oh, I still have one more life, I guess. And I'm dead again. Well, that was, that was interesting. I managed to make it to level 3. I mean, so that's something. All right, so I don't, as much as I want to spend a lot of time with each and every one of these games, there are so many to cover. I just want to kind of test them all out, get a feel for them, and not really get too much in depth with them. I'll leave that up to Stu, who will probably play these kind of games for hours. Whereas if I did that on this stream, what would quickly become a 2-hour stream would be about 5 hours, if not more. So we don't want to do that. Maze Invaders, with a visual style reminiscent of Pac-Man, which was very popular in arcades at the time. Ed Logg's game Maze Invaders combined navigation of a dynamic shifting maze with shooting action. After it performed poorly in focus tests, however, Maze Invaders was cancelled, although a prototype version has been preserved and is playable here. Cool. An example of one of Ed Logg's level design sketches for Maze Invaders. That looks so confusing. Somebody handed me that and I'd look at it and be like, what the hell is this? What am I looking at? Alright. Pudgekin. Had Maze Invaders actually been released, it wouldn't have been called Maze Invaders. Atari's creative and legal teams came up with some options, including Maze Man, Wandering Wilbur, and Whiff It, but ultimately settled on Pudgekin. Following results have come back from legal regarding the trademark search for alternate Maze Invaders names. Maze Man, okay to use, but difficult to protect since it is more or less a generic type name. Wandering Wilbur, okay to use, strong trademark, i.e. easy to protect. Pudgekin, okay to use, strong trademark. Wanderer, okay to use, and Whiff It, okay to use, strong trademark. So the first choice was Pudgekin, which sounds like a really bad name for a game, I'll be honest. I don't know if that's the first name I would use, but...
Ooh, this game sucks.
Hey, Mac, smartass.
JK.
Maze Invaders, platform arcade, unreleased prototype. Centipede co-creator Ed Logg's Maze Invaders combines two of 1981's most popular arcade. I said Mac, not Max. Popular arcade genres, shooters and maze games, but it did not test well enough to reach production. As a result, only a few prototypes of Maze Invaders were created.
Who's Mac?
I'm not an idiot, Mac. I know that's you. You've used that name before, dumbass. You must think I'm pretty stupid. I'm not. I may be 43, but I'm not senile. That's Stu.
At Oops, I sharted again. It's actually the narrator who said.
Yeah. Smartass. All right. Maze. What? Okay, select button. I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay.
It's okay to admit you're 63.
63?
No shame in those wrinkles.
I guess that's my exit. Interesting, because so it's kind of like a Pac-Man, kinda. Except more... Oh, maybe not. The wall's actually changing shit. Oh, damn. Oh, shit. shit, this is kind of cool. I wonder why this never got released to the general public. This looks like it would. This looks like it would have been a fun game.
Isn't he cute at Oops, I Sharted again?
Stu, stop encouraging him. For the love of God, stop encouraging. Oh my God. Get the hell out of here! Alright. Maze 3. Looks like I can't turn these ones. Alright, interesting. So they have specific patterns. Shit. I realized I screwed that up. I was supposed to go in through that one door. Alright, let's try that again. So I have to go this way. What the actual fuck? Alright, oh.
This reminds of those shitty games that used to be all over the internet back when Flash and Shockwave were a thing.
Yeah, but it's not. It's a shitty Atari game. So go shit on yourself, man. I don't know. Space Duel, a full-color version of Asteroids for 2 simultaneous players. Space Duel allowed players to operate independently, or in a manner oddly reminiscent of Fire Truck, as a pair of linked spaceships working as a team. Its lead designer was Owen Rubin. Space Duel's flyer notes the cabinet's unusual 4-speaker sound feature. 2 speakers were positioned below the marquee, and 2 under the control panel. How are you supposed to know that from looking at this image? Like,
that plugin must have supported like March 4th of the internet. Owen Rubin was the guy who invented the Reuben sandwich.
Oh my God, what is this, a Seinfeld skit? Oh, Rubens. This reminds me of, I think there was an episode of Seinfeld where they're talking about who made the fucking Waldorf salad or something like that. I don't know. There's some episode of Seinfeld, something to do with a salad. I don't see any speakers on this. Okay, never mind. So there's 2 speakers right there at the base. And I guess the other 2 are on right underneath the marquee. So there's, okay, so I see. The problem is that image is too dark and that you wouldn't be able to see all the speakers.
Are you talking about the big salad?
No, the big salad was the one where George just has to get a big salad for Elaine. And then he goes and they don't know what the hell he's talking about. They're like, it's a salad. It's a salad. They don't have a big size salad. Or something like that. I can't remember. I haven't seen that episode in forever. I just know that he comes back with the salad and Elaine's all mad at him that it's the wrong kind of salad. Or whoever he got the salad for. I think it was Elaine. Maybe it was his girlfriend at the time. The original artwork for Space Duel by artist Marty Villama. That looks like something from Star Wars. That's cool. So one thing I will say is that the artwork for these games is much better than the games themselves. Like, Space Duel, platform arcade, release year 1982, After 2 asteroid titles, what could make space rocks fresh again? Owen Rubin's answer was color vector graphics, geometric shapes instead of boulders, and an unusual 2-player mode, where 2 players are tethered together, requiring careful cooperation. Now, I can't do 2 players, so I'm not being tethered to anybody, which is probably for the best. Yeah, what? Okay, no, I just want to play the game, sir. 1 coin. Oh, what? Okay. 1 player. Yes. Press start. There we go. So it's basically asteroids if you're high on some kind of hallucinogen, I guess. Whoa, man, the colors, man. It's like a spinning wheel, man. Oh, wow, dude. But get away from me, Star.
It just looks like a bunch of floating baby dongs.
Baby dongs? I don't know what the hell you're smoking, but... What? Take that, geometric shapes. No, this is not well planned.
Yeah,
no.
I'm not gonna lie, this looks like a ridiculously bad acid trip.
Most Atari games were that. Let's be fair. Most Atari games were ridiculously bad acid trips. And if you missed the first part of the stream, which I know you did, the creators of most of the Atari games did mention that a lot of them took hardcore drugs when making a lot of these games. So that would explain a lot. Oh, I got first place. So I beat out all of the programmers who obviously weren't very good at their game. Well, that was Space Duel. Yeah. All right.
I believe it.
You believe it? Yeah, no, they did. They said that they, yeah. Gravitar, another vector graphics shooting game with controls similar to Asteroids. The big twist in Gravitar, as the name implies, was that the player had to fight off the forces of gravity while they carefully made their way around the terrain, eliminating enemies and gently picking up fuel tanks from the surface. Promotional flyers and 1 free play. The promotional materials for Gravitar included a coupon for 1 free play. Local arcade owners were expected to fill in their location's address at the bottom. Okay. Oh, distributed? Oh, no, there we go. The coupon. 1 free play. Location, name, and address. So they just cut it out and gave it to someone, I guess? That's cool, I guess. The Player's Game. An advertisement for Gravitar from the pages of a popular gaming magazine.
Were the arcade owners
pitches
just supposed to fork out a quarter for every free play coupon?
I guess so. Yeah. Gaming magazine pitches it as the ultimate test of a player's abilities.
They didn't have to give quarters.
What is this? Hold on. What is the man?
Like a great way to have the same kid show up with 8 different disguises. And if they did, they got the quarter back.
What is this man doing? I don't even think he's playing the game right now. What is this? What is this? What am I looking at here? Also, isn't this in the 80s? Why are they wearing bell bottoms? I'm confused. What timeline are we in right now? 1982, it says at the bottom.
I think he's sexually harassing her.
Why do they look like they stepped out of the 60s if this is an ad from 1982? That's my question. That's my question. Is this time travel? You know what he's thinking there. He's like, whoa, dude, you're pretty good at the game. You know what you'd be better at? Having sex with me in my bed tonight.
Mullet stuck around well into the 90s.
Neon legging and mullet stuck around well into the 90s. I mean, they're coming back, unfortunately. I use the term. Unfortunately, it's coming back. All right. Gravatar, platform arcade, release year 1982.
He's like, hey baby, you sure know how to work that gravity well. Don't you put that evil on me.
Yeah, dude, you're really good at playing with gravity. Why not come back to my place? You can experience my gravity. Fucking, we're terrible. This is how YouTube demotes people, by just tuning into my fucking streams, I swear. A notoriously difficult space shooter, Gravatar challenges players to navigate underground tunnels and destroy enemies while managing fuel and combating the forces of gravity. Developers Mike Howley and Rich Adam say the game is so hard they have never completed their own game without cheating. Wait a minute, and you're expecting me to play this? So the creators say that their game is so hard that they've never beaten it. Oh, this sounds fun. I can't wait. What? What am I doing? Oh. Escape time 20s. I'm being timed on these? Alright, let's go to the lowest.
You shot the enemy hot dog.
Not the sun. Let's not go into the sun. We'll go up to the 2000 one. Alright, what? Oh, what? It's like a...
Enemy hot dog inbound.
So I have to land on that landing platform, I guess. Let's take out that boob nipple gun. Well, that was fun.
Damn, you're good at crashing.
Right, I know. Even back in the 90s,
developers.
Even back in the 90s, I was good at crashing computers. What is with that logo? It's like I was having a seizure. Why did my bot have like... my bot had like a big breath there when it said Windows Vista. It was like, Windows Vista. Like, what? Okay. Well, that was
we don't want to know about your bot.
My bot? Millipede, a more challenging, more complex version of Centipede. Millipede's development was led by Ed Logg, although without Donna Bailey's input. Well-known game and hardware developer Mark Cerny, then just 18 years old and a new hire at Atari, worked on Millipede. An entire page of the Millipede arcade flyer tells the game's fantasy backstory in the form of a fairy tale. What? Oh God. Once upon a time, in a kingdom set serenely under a warming sun, there lived a youth of royal lineage who was drawn to all of nature's beauty. I'm not reading all that. There's no way in hell. I don't need to know that much of a backstory behind a game like that. A January 1983 advertisement for Millipede promises to fill your brain with bugs. What's a ute? I don't know.
Oh god, there's so goddamn much to read. ADHD powers activate.
ADHD powers activate. Yeah. Millipede if Centipede drove you buggy. This game is sure to raid your brain. They're back. The creepy crawlers of Centipede have given way to the ultimate generation of nasties in Millipede, the all-new coin video fantasy adventure from Atari. Nobody wants to play it. They just want to oogle their girlfriend and grab hold of her backpack.
The creepy couple is back in the picture.
I know. It's actually the same people, too, except they've been shoved into a jungle, apparently. Hold on. This poses my next question. How is that arcade cabinet even providing power? How is that providing power? They just have it plugged into a plant?
She didn't have a backpack before, did she?
No, she got one. That was her reward. She beat the game for him, and then he rewarded her with a backpack and a trip to the Amazon.
Board.
So she won a backpack and a trip to the Amazon, where they could play another arcade game. Yes. Excuse me, we all want to travel to the Amazon, but we want to bring our arcade cabinet. Do you got a place that's long enough on, a 2,000 mile long power cord? In a memo dated April 5th, 1982, Ed Logg makes its proposal for a Centipede Deluxe game to be called Millipede. He suggested it use the hardware from his Maze Invaders game project, which was cancelled.
My board is long, but not that long.
Oh my god. Oh god. That's gonna be an interesting night. Allow more colors, 2 pokies, more playfield stamps, up to 20K of program space. Corrects many miscellaneous hardware problems. Okay, I don't really care. It's just 2 people who worked on the game. Ken Harkness, president of Atari's coin-op division, suggested in a May 6, 1982 memo that Millipede be a female version of Centipede, possibly titled Millipede. No. No! That sounds horrible. And I'm not being sexist, but Millipede sounds ridiculous. It sounds like a stupid name. Millipede. These are just ideas offered in the hopes of you having a smashing success.
Better than Millicraft.
I mean, yes. Millimeth, Millicrack. In a memo dated July 19th, 1982,
Millipede.
Ed Logg responds to various concerns brought up in a recent brainstorming session, pushing back on the idea of a cute female centipede since the object of the game is to kill the centipede. I have heard the following suggestions and reasons to change Millipede's theme and graphics. We don't want a Centipede Deluxe, but something different, enough to sell 50,000 games. It is important to make it different so the distributor doesn't say, why not just give us EP-ROMs to change our centipedes? Imagine like massive memos of just talking about centipede, male and females.
Ask not what your millipede can do for you.
Ask not what your millipede can do for you. Ask what you can do for your millipede. Yeah. An excerpt from a report from a focused test of players to an early version of Millipede. Players' reactions were very strongly positive, with players enjoying the extra excitement, challenge, and variety. Reaction to Centipede by these players is very strongly positive. Its relation to Centipede is obvious, and literally every player likes it better than Centipede.
Millipede is a game that didn't need to be made.
Probably not. I'll be honest with you. It sounds like it didn't need to be made. Older players tend to be more.
That good that it deserved a sequel.
Older players tended to be more enthusiastic in their response to the game. The increased variety of targets and more action highlight the majority of the comments from both groups about the game. These comments are typical. So these are the comments from the players who played the game. Man, I liked it better than Centipede because there's more things to do, more challenging. I liked it. It's exciting, much quicker than Centipede. I really liked it. It's a good, challenging game. So stupid. These sound fake. Centipede is pretty good, but this has a lot more to it. A lot of fun. More to it.
Do a Trump voice.
Alright. Excellent. Fast, different set of bugs. Excellent. I'm telling you, it's an excellent, fast, different set of bugs game. Okay? Perfect. Definitely better than Centipede. All the appeal of Centipede and a lot more variety. Okay. Well, let's go into this mess that is Millipede. Millipede, platform arcade, release year 1982. Like many gaming sequels.
Call the White House and start WW3 with that voice, I swear.
I need to call the
This
White House.
Sucks.
I need to call the White House and start World War III with my Trump voice. I don't know. Sounds like a bad idea. Like many gaming sequels, the follow-up to Centipede increases the speed and difficulty, adding more gameplay variety while retaining the core elements of its predecessor. Several new insect enemies complicate the playfield to make the game more challenging overall. Oh, great. Oh, what? I look like I'm having a seizure right now just watching the starting screen. Press the fire to start. Okay. Get away from me, spider. Am I this high that the centipede is just turning into shrooms? Whoa, man! I've always wanted a centipede that turns into shrooms, dude. No! Well, that was, what? Shoot to destroy advancing creatures for points. Collision with any creature will destroy you. Well, that's obvious. Shoot DDT bomb to set off poisonous cloud. Any insect destroyed by this cloud is worth 3 times its normal value. Okay. Yeah, I'm not doing that again. I think you're right. Maybe Centipede should have just been left alone. Liberator. Massive rotating planets displayed at the center of the screen gave Liberator a distinctive, eye-catching draw. Using characters from the Atari Force comic series by DC, Liberator played like Missile Command. In reverse, shoot down the missiles that are being fired from the planet's surface. Promotional flyer. Liberator's flyer offers a detailed description of its gameplay, noting that it offers 90 different planets, so the action never ends for you or the player. Why is your joystick coming out of your ship? sir. Oh my god, they are wearing... Can we just point out the stylish Atari jumpsuits that they're wearing? This
nice
looks
helmet.
exactly like Trump's Space Force, except with the Atari logo.
I barely know ER.
No. Alright, Liberator Arcade 1982. Liberator drew inspiration from the Atari Force series of comics from DC, and borrows liberally from the gameplay of Missile Command. It's essentially that game in reverse.
Please
as
tell
players.
Me that you can play it.
That you can play E.T.? I think so. I think E.T.'s in this collection. It was also one of the first games to be buried.
That looks like an early prototype of the Planeteers.
Planeteers?
Minus Captain Planer.
Planer?
Planet Asterisk.
Captain Planer. I know what you meant. Gameplay Missile Command. It's essentially that game in reverse, as players defend themselves in space from rockets that are being launched from the planet's surface. Fewer than 1,000 cabinets were produced, making it rather rare. The galaxy has been invaded by the evil army. Commander Champion of the Atari Force has chosen to sound so bad. Atari Force? Why? Just no. This sounds like Trump style bad with the Space Force thing. Long-range scanners detect enemy scouts in your sector. Oh.
Buy the evil peanut butter in your mouth army.
What am I shooting at exactly? That thing? Alright. There. Destroyed. Is that it? That was the level? No. Oh. They're coming from Earth! No! You will not destroy my spaceships. Concentrate firepower on planet missile bases. It's coming from inside the house. I don't think so, UFO. You may think you've won, but you've lost entirely, mate. Oh, no. Oi, mate, take your missiles and sod off, because I don't want you here. Go on, get out of here. You and your fucking space aliens. Alright. Oh, Jesus! And death. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty interesting. I did not mind this one. It's different. Definitely different compared to the other games I've played. So that's pretty cool. That one's not bad. Quantum, designed by Betty Ryan of General Computer Corporation. Quantum made unique use of a trackball controller combined with the detailed graphics of a color vector monitor. Players drew curved lines to encircle atomic particles, clearing them off the board. If they got a high score, they could leave not just their initials, but their signature. Quantum's flyer calls out one of its more novel features, allowing the top player to actually draw his signature or initials at the top of the high scorer's board. Was that the high point of the game? Yeah, dude, you can draw your signature in the game. We made it so you can draw anything in the game.
Give me the option to draw a signature.
Yeah, dude, this game you can draw anything you want. That's how you fight. So if you want to draw a giant penis on the screen, Atari allows that, dude. Quantum creator Elizabeth Betty Ryan was the first woman to be employed as a game programmer at General Computer Corporation. She also programmed several Atari console games. Is that her? Or is that just a random girl? Oh, that is her. Holy shit. She looks really young. She looks like she's 16. Okay, interesting. I guess we're going into this thing. Arcade 1982.
Are the people who made Ms. Pac-Man.
She probably made Miss Pac-Man. Designed by Harvard graduate Betty Ryan, Quantum stands not only for being Atari's only trackball game with vector graphics, but a non-violent game as well. Players must skillfully draw lines around atomic particles to score points. The highest scoring player gets to sign their name using the trackball controller.
That was 41 years ago. She's crustier than Vinny now.
Mac, I swear to God, if my bones weren't breaking at the moment, I'd come after you. Alright, Quantum. Capture atomic particles by drawing boobs. What? Time? No, I just want to play. What is this time shit? Just start the damn game. There we go. What?
The only thing you're coming after is a banana peel and a nursing home waiver face with tears of joy.
Oh, wait, so I can circle... I should be able to circle... God damn it. So if I circle both, I would get more points. Get closer. That's right. Oh, there we go. How do you like that? Oh, yeah. Alright, this looks like a game you'd be able to play, Sue. If you get mad playing this, then there's something wrong. I swear to God, if you rage playing this, I don't know what to say. Oh, 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 oh. Do I have to circle these things? Oh, yeah. Whoa, that's an overly dramatic death. You blew up like the Death Star. Oh. Good grief. Alright. Oh, I have to circle my name? This is not easy. I'm sorry. What? How? How does this... How? You've got to be kidding. Well, there we go. There's my name, Jay. I mean, inventive for sure. I don't know if I would have put the high score thing as being circling the words. That seems stupid, especially considering how hard it is. Ginny. No. The concept of that game is cool. I like it. It seems like it's a game made for everybody. But the problem is that when you put the circling for the putting in your high score name, that doesn't work. You should have just had the scrolling, the scrolling letters. That would have made more sense. It doesn't make any sense to circle individual letters.
With a trackpad and a stylus.
Exactly. I mean, this game would be perfect for 3DS or DS or even the cell phones. I don't think it works well with a PS5 controller. What? Aka-er? What is... A Colorful Shooter by Dave Ralston and Mike Halley. The name is apparently derived from the phrase also known as Another Ralston Halley, with some extra letters. Aka-er was produced in 1982, but never officially released. Yeah, because it sounds racist. Unreleased prototype arcade. Players defend against a central turret from enemies on all sides. In this fast-paced game that shares some gameplay elements with Missile Command. After testing at the prototype stage, Atari chose not to manufacture the game, making this arcade prototype quite rare. What is going on here? Alright, one
Oh,
sec.
I've heard of Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar? Yeah.
So Jeff Minter remade this game and they were just selling the remake through limited run.
Alrighty. Sorry, just had to close my door. My roommate's playing something and it can get me demoted with all the music that he's playing in his game. Alright, so... What? Place cursor in...
Did you hear what I said?
No, I had to walk away for a sec. Press player 1 start. Alright.
So Jeff Minter remade this game and they were just selling the remake through limited run. What are these names? Jorzonian? Face with tears of joy.
I guess, yeah. I know that a lot of the games in this collection were never released to the general public, which is why this collection was so sought after by collectors of Atari stuff, because you're not going to get this stuff anywhere else. Especially the remake versions, because like there's the original games, right, and then there's a lot of remakes in the collection, which are exclusively made for this collection. So I mean, there is a lot of content here that certainly you're going to find some games that you already own in your libraries too, but the majority of the content in here is not stuff that you're going to find, not easily.
The sequel to this is called Saka Kaka Car.
Why do you... that sounds made
This
up.
game just looks like a flashing epileptic seizure.
I
of
was thinking the same
confusion.
thing. It's totally before game developers realized people suffered from seizures. Dude, pay attention to all the flashing colors as you shoot at enemies.
I don't understand a damn thing of what is going on.
I'm the thing in the middle, and I have to shoot at these things before they hit me. It's pretty self-explanatory. I just have to defend my base. My base in the middle of the screen.
Vinny is shooting vine sauce at those shapes. Imagine this being your first exposure to video games.
Dude, I'm shooting epileptic seizures at the enemies, man. Can't you tell? What? Did I guess I died. That was overly dramatic for a death.
I think you farted there.
Okay, that was fun. Yeah, I've seen enough. Black Widow. Rather than being sold as a full arcade cabinet, Black Widow was only offered as a conversion kit that arcade operators could install to turn their Gravatar machines into a game more closely resembling Tempest. Black Widow was a very early example of a twin-stick shooter, in which the player used one joystick to move and the other to fire in all directions. Platform Arcade, release year 1983, this spider-themed twin joystick shooter was offered as a conversion kit for Gravatar game cabinets. After that game proved less successful than Atari had hoped, Black Widow has since earned a cult following for its frantic gameplay. So I'm a spider shooting lasers. Okay. Select difficulty with right stick. I don't see a difficulty option. What?
Make sure you properly tag the grub stakes. While aliens invaded the web.
Pretty much. This is a great simulated version of what the internet is like. Just a bunch of bugs.
You're doing pretty good at this.
Well, I mean, it's pretty basic, right? All you have to do is aim and shoot. Oh, what? Okay. Okay. See, he jinxed me. That's what happened here, guys. Stu jinxed me. I was doing good, and then he screwed me over. How do I... AA Copyright C. Perfect. That's my name. Alright, let's get out of here. I think that was pretty cool. Not gonna lie. I enjoyed that one. Food Fight. While most of Atari's arcade games tended to be abstract and not feature recognizable characters, the movement towards marketable mascots in the mid-'80s produced Food Fight, starring bright-eyed, blonde-haired Charlie Chuck, a young lad who just wants to steal an ice cream cone without angry chefs getting in his way. You'll clean up profits while your players have a ball making a video mess, promises the Food Fight promotional flyer. This is how you promote your game. Everyone at some time has wanted to throw a pie in someone else's face. Maybe? I don't know if I would add that as a promotion for my game, but hey. Original artwork used for the production of a promotional Food Fight t-shirt. Why do I feel like you have this shirt, Stu? Charlie Chuck's Atari Food Fight. Atari Age magazine introduces Food Fight to its readers in the May-June 1983 issue. Look at this kid, just ready to beat the shit out of these chefs with this pie. as this poor kid is stuck in the middle, being like, dude, I'm just trying to play a game. Stop throwing food near me, man. I'm just trying to play this game in peace. Wearing my 1960s outfit. Alright. So hop into this. Arcade 1983. General Computer Corporation created the whimsical action game Food Fight, in which the player flings tomatoes, bananas, and other foodstuffs at angry chefs as part of a legal settlement with Atari over GCC's unlicensed missile command upgrade kits. GCC would later design the Atari 7800 console, as well as the Atari arcade game Quantum. Alright. Yes, level 1. Eat the cone. So we have to get to the cone as quickly as possible while avoiding the chefs. Bum 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 ba-dum ba-dum bum. Done. Whoa! You got a big mouth, kid. Now, of course, we can use weapons. Like they can pick up the food as well, but we can as well if we wanted to. But really, we just want to get to the ice cream as quickly as possible before it melts. So if we can avoid hitting the chefs with anything, probably for the best to do that. Oh, you almost got me. These chefs really don't want you eating their ice cream. They're like, no. Let me tell you, you're not eating my ice cream. I make it there. It's sitting there to be melted. It's not for you. What? Oh, those are holes.
Why your gets gigantic?
Why my mouth gets gigantic? He's a loudmouth kid. He's a loudmouth kid throwing food at chefs. Whoa, that chef just about went banana on me. Hey! Don't touch me and my ice cream. Oh, buggers. Now it's at the bottom. Oh, mother. Oh, Jesus. I gotta psych out this chef. Oh. Damn. They went to town on him. What's my... Okay, here's the thing, though. What's my... Let me pull up the controls for a sec. Because I am not finding the axis throw. That's what I was hitting. It wasn't doing anything. Let's try that again. Take my green beans.
Throw the food, dude.
I'm gonna... Oh, for fuck's sakes. What is it? I do not like these inventive ways to do... I'm going to try this again. I don't like these inventive ways to make high score screens. It's just stupid. Just do standard high score. Like, I don't need to be throwing food at the high score letters. It's just dumb. It's bad enough I've been having to spend the entire time throwing food at these chefs. Take it as pie. Into your face. Oh, I don't think so, boys. Oh, damn. Just go to town on me if I lose. Take it as pie. I take it as cream.
You need to use the food more.
Yeah, but they keep on spawning in, so it doesn't really matter, does it? The objective is to get to the ice cream before it melts, dude. It's not to get. It's not to get the chefs. I'm getting more points for getting the ice cream before it fully melts, because as the ice cream melts more, the score goes down on the ice cream. It's not. It's not to get the chefs. I mean, if the chefs are in your way,
Turns
that
out
makes.
food fight still stinks. Who'd have thought?
Hey, always asleep. How you doing, buddy? Well, that
That's
was
fine, but you're running in circles.
Yeah, because I'm avoiding them. I'm not just having a seizure. I'm actually avoiding the enemies. Crystal Castles, another colorful mascot-based game, was Crystal Castles, starring Bentley Bear. Originally played with a trackball, Crystal Castles mazes were rendered in a unique pseudo 3D style that gives it a distinctive look. Bentley would go on to star in Atari cards for the Atari Jaguar console.
Don't avoid Stulol.
The Crystal Castles flyer offers a valuable gameplay tip. Warping always benefits the player with at least 1 bonus life, and 2 if the player warps to level 4 or above. These stories on these flyers is always fantastic for these Atari games. Once upon a time, there lived a bear named Bentley, who wandered over the land in search of fortune plenty. Picnic baskets and such were not his bill of fare. Who talks like that? Only ruby gemstones could content this clever bear. While roaming the lands of Crystal Castles, Bentley gathered his jewels with the greatest of care. A snatch here and there by a swift paw or two showered fame and fortune on this rarest of bears. Okay. Atari Age magazine introduced Crystal Castles to its readers in the September-October 1983 issue. Bentley narrates his own advertisement from the September 1983 issue of a popular video game magazine. They're not going to tell you what magazine it is? The name's Bentley Bear and I'm busting loose. Why is that? Why is he touching? What is this advertisement? Why is the bear touching the dude's ass? The dude's reacting to it.
Probably Electronic Games
No,
magazine.
hold on. Are we missing this key element here? This bear is groping this dude's ass. And the dude's reacting to it. How is this a good fucking ad? How did this pass by...
I see it. It's messed up.
Ever since Atari made me the star of Crystal Castles, their latest coin video smash, it's been go, go, go.
That's groom.
So I decided that I'm going to grope these kids as they play my game. That's just how it was back then? Yeah, apparently.
Furry to the power.
I'm running loose in wave after wave of Super 3D playfields and getting richer and richer bagging all these gems. You're bagging more than gems, my friend. You're bagging a lot more than gems. All right, let's... Jokes aside, let's get into this. The Atari Age magazine's March-April 1984 issue goes in depth into the making of Crystal Castles with some insider tips. Okay, I'm not going to read all that. Let's just get into the game. Platform arcade release year 1983, using Atari's first illuminated trackball controller. Players steer Bentley Bear around a series of isometric mazes as he collects jewels and finds secret passages. Unusually for action arcade games in 1983, Crystal Castles offers a definitive ending for completing the game's 10th and final level. Alright. Is there a bunch of children's asses I have to grab at some point in this? Like, what is this shit? What? Why do I look like Mickey Mouse? Is that's supposed to be a bear? I look like Winnie the Pooh if he was, like, on steroids. Alright. Whoa. Oh my. Alright. Trees? Why are there trees attacking me? Bentley Bear is not collecting gems, he's collecting LSD. Yeah. Gosh, leave my gems alone. Ah. Ooh, can I hide? Haha! You will never find me.
Smurf Berry Crunch is fun to eat.
Oh, they can come in. That's right, skeleton. I got, bees. Why'd it have to be bees? Oh my god. Okay. No! Damn. That damn skeleton. Oh, man. Alright. Well, we get the idea. I made it to level 3 at least. That's interesting. I actually don't mind that one. I like the style. The graphics are pretty cool. I like that it's like a three-dimensional playing field. It's pretty cool. Major Havoc, designed by Owen Rubin with some participation from Mike Cerny. Major Havoc is like a buffet tray of game genres, combining spaceship shooting, platforming, and more. Its unique design makes it a cult classic of the era, and one of the more unique uses of the vector display.
Game.
The Major Havoc flyer notes that Breakout can be played for a few seconds before the actual gameplay starts. A bonus life can be earned. Cool, Stu. Well, I'm looking forward to trying
the judge of that.
Always asleep coming in with his video game of the year judging, okay, folks? Various design documents from the making of Major Havoc from the personal collection of designer Owen Rubin. Wait, there's more than one document. This looks confusing as hell. It is pretty cool, all the shit that they have found in archives over the years that they've scanned in and put into this collection. I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty cool. It reminds me of the Cowabunga, the Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection, where they added in all this cool concept art for all the original...
ETW designer Owen Rubin invented the Reuben sandwich.
You already said this, Stu, multiple times. I feel like that's... I'm gonna have to look that up, because I feel like you're bullshitting.
Don't bullshit me, pal.
This is a lot of notes that they found. What the hell? Holy shit. Atari Age magazine debuts major...
I already said it. Repetition is part of comedy.
Especially in Jerry Seinfeld's case. All of his material is the same shit over and over since the 80s. Atari Age magazine debuts Major Havoc in its November 1983 / February 1984 issue. Get ready for a multi-part action adventure pitting our heroic clones against the evil Vaxian Empire. Get ready for the adventures of Major Havoc. a magazine art advertisement for Major Havoc that ran in March 1984. This guy playing the game at the bottom looks kind of pixely. All right. Arcade 1983, Owen Rubin's sci-fi adventure combined several different kinds of gameplay: shooting, platforming, a sequence inspired by Lunar Lander, and even a tiny vector version of Breakout, in which success would award extra lives. Outfitted with a
They originally were going
unique...
to call this game Major Asshole, but it didn't do well in test markets.
Probably, right? In which success would award extra lives. Outfitted with a unique roller controller, essentially a single-axis trackball, it was Atari's penultimate vector game and retains a cult following today. In brackets, on Stu's Game Reviews. A cult following on Stu's Game Reviews. Nowhere else. Alright. Ooh. Oh! What? Am I playing right now? Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. That's kind of cool. That damn bird, I'm telling you.
It said garbage ejected. Are you still on the ship at the Gamer's Grotto?
What am I doing?
Turns out Major Havoc was never good. Furthermore, the Reuben sandwich is for jerks.
Always asleep, coming in with facts. Alright. Is that the exit? Get out! How am I supposed to get out if I have to go up? Dude!
I love me a good Reuben sandwich. That tracks.
I don't understand
John?
that. It wasn't letting me. I was doing it.
You suck.
Yeah, but keep in mind, Stu, that unlike you, I don't normally play Atari games. I play more modern games. I leave the crappy games to you. I leave the crappy games I wouldn't feed to my dog, to you. You know, like that, the bunch of Atari games buried in the desert. Poor man's Star Fox. Yeah, pretty much. They do actually cover that in this, by the way. The Atari games that are shoved into the desert, they do actually cover that in this. There's like a video on it. It's kind of funny. Firefox. The advent of Laserdiscs allowed arcade games to present full-quality video sequences, although designers had to get rather creative with them, because interactivity was extremely limited. Firefox used footage from a 1982 Clint Eastwood movie. Players could insert more coins when starting a game in order to lengthen their flights. Wait, I can't play this? What?
Could play this one.
That's a cock tease. It looks like a more modern. Look at those graphics. That looks way more modern than anything we were just playing. Oh well. Cloak and Dagger. The 1984 movie Cloak and Dagger had a plot that centered around an Atari 5200 game cartridge of the same name. That game was never actually produced, but Atari did create the arcade version, which was only produced as a conversion kit to be used with Williams arcade games like Joust and Defender. The Cloak and Dagger Flyer promises an easily installable kit that can revive an older, low-earning game, specifically 4 games made by Atari's competition. Interesting. Alright, let's pop into this. Platform arcade, release year 1984, loosely based on the 1983 action movie Cloak and Dagger, began as a project called Agent X. As a spy, players must steal information, defeat robots, and escape an underground lair before
those
it
games
explodes.
are by Williams and they were all way more popular than Cloak and Dagger.
Step on unarmed explosives for points. How do I know which ones are armed? I guess the red ones are armed? Ah, okay. Alright. Sure. Your mission, recover the stolen plans from the evil blah blah blah.
Good music at least.
It's not bad.
Wow, the graphics are pretty good.
Ah! Tell you, this man over here shooting arrows at me. I am so confused. Thank you, bombs. Thank you, explosives. Thank you, explosives and black eye. Bah, bah, bah. Oh, almost got it. Oh. Did we do it? We gotta get to the exit. Oh. Dude, I was so close. This is crazy. This is... feels like too much happening at this on the screen at once. Alright, oh, up, oh, up, oh, up. No. Oh. No, I don't feel proud enough to put my initials in there. That's cool. I don't mind that one. That one's pretty cool. Very challenging, that's for sure. iRobot, the final arcade game produced by Atari Incorporated before it sold off its arcade division in 1984. iRobot was also the first arcade game produced with true 3D shaded polygonal graphics. I know I pronounced that wrong. Players could choose to either play the action game or use a 3D drawing program called Doodle City. According to the iRobot promo flyer, each game came with a free poster intended to create excitement and awareness of how to play. It just looks like an acid trip. Promote iRobot with these hot promotional tools. An iRobot poster is included free in every game. On location, this poster can create excitement and awareness of how to play. For t-shirts and additional posters, call Atari Customer Support Service. Okay. A magazine advertisement for iRobot placed in September.
iRobot.
For iRobot placed in September 1984 says players won't believe their eyes, which was probably true if they'd never seen a polygonal 3D game before. Alright, let's pop into iRobot. Arcade 1984, a futuristic mix of both shooting and maze games. iRobot was the first game to use 3D shaded polygonal graphics, as well as the first to give players the ability to change camera viewpoints. Truly unique, the cabinet features a magnetic Hall effect joystick. It offered a non-gaming mode in the form of a 3D art playground,
row not 2 out of 10. Get real
dubbed
Atari.
Doodle City. More like I know I row not 2 out of 10. You're like the Simon Cowell of video game reviews. Wow, I'm already having a seizure. Doodle City, the ungame. The ungame. I'm sorry, what? The ungame. No jumps to shield, touch red. Touch red, eye open. What am I reading? What is this shit? What? Okay.
It's like 7-Up, being cola.
Do not jump if eye is red. Touch red. Entering transporter. Okay, what do I do? Oh, it transports me to all the different levels? What? Okay. I've seen enough of that one. I don't know what to think of that. I don't know what to think of that.
I think this is like red light, green light, 1, 2, 3.
Possibly, I don't know. The text that kept on coming up was really irritating. It's like, can't I just figure this out for myself? You don't. While Atari's origins were in the video arcade, it had also created the first device that would put video games, and by extension, computers, into millions of American homes. Read on to explore the history of the Atari VCS. Wait, we've already... Hold on, we've already looked at all of this, haven't we? Or did we? Oh no, this is going into... Hold on. Let me just... Okay, birth of the console. Alright, so we're in the right area. I just want to make sure. The arcade comes home. Today, well over 90% of American homes have at least one computer, and they have changed our lives forever. For millions, the first computer in their home was an Atari video computer system. In addition to a home version of Pong, Atari released dedicated consoles that played versions of its video pinball and stunt cycle arcade games. But clones were quickly catching up, and the company knew it needed a product that played more than just one game if it wanted to earn a permanent spot in the world's living rooms. In September 1977, Atari launched the Video Computer System, later known as the 2600. It was part of a new wave of game consoles, which had no games built in, but stored them separately on ROM cartridges. Technological superiority didn't come cheap. The VCS launched at $199, or about $950 in 2022 dollars. So there it is, folks, in all its glory, the brown box. I'm just joking, brown box. What's a VCS? In this video feature, legendary Atari VCS programmers Howard Scott Warshaw of Yar's Revenge and David Crane of Pitfall describe the impact of the Atari video game computer system in their own words. Let's hop into that.
On the simplest level, what the VCS, the Atari 2600, what that is, it's a combination of plastic and computer chips that enables you to play a video game, an interactive video game on your home television. which is something that never really happened before.
If you're making an arcade game, it begins as a hardware project. If you need something more in the hardware, just put it in the hardware and you can use it in your game. The Atari 2600, we didn't have that luxury. The game was already in Grandma's house. It was already hooked up to her TV. And all we could do is make a different cartridge, sell that to the person, he plugs it in.
It was the thing that made video games a worldwide phenomenon. And all it is it's a box that enables you to play an interactive game on your TV. But on a cultural level, that's such a huge thing to do, because there were two things that achieved that changed the world, literally changed the world. One is it put computers in homes. At a time where IBM only had about 10,000 PCs sold altogether, Atari had millions of units installed, and every one of those was a computer in the home. The other thing it did was it created an interactive medium with television, which was always a passive medium. Before video games, people were just zombies sitting on the couch watching TV. But video games turned people into zombies jumping up and down on the couch yelling at the TV. And that was a very different experience. And I think that was huge in terms of taking people from a passive state to an active state. And we're still learning the implications of that.
That's interesting, but because like nowadays, it's become a lot more interactive, right? Because I mean, we have the VR headsets, and we're actually being put into the games, and we're becoming a lot more active now. I mean, I wouldn't say that necessarily. The way he described it as being a zombie watching TV, as opposed to a zombie jumping up and down and being angry at a game, that's not really active. That's just you being pissed at a game. That's not active. So I wouldn't agree with that. However, I would agree that modern day gaming, especially VR, has made us a lot more active. Because there's a lot of games that require full body movement in VR, and you're not simply sitting down and playing games anymore. You're definitely fully involved in the gaming experience, and after some VR games, trust me, your body aches. The VCS included two controllers that seem simple today, but were all games needed at the time. A four-way digital joystick and a single fire button. This means that Atari players use their right hands to move and their left hands to fire. The opposite of today's standard control layouts. I remember that damn joystick. Stu, I know, knows this joystick very well, but I remember it too. I remember using it back in the day, and I did not like it. Not one bit. That was, yeah, no. I actually had you know what's interesting is that joystick looks very similar to the joystick that the Tandy 1000 SX had back in the day. It was obvious. The only difference was this is black, whereas the Atari, the Tandy 1000 joystick was white, and the red button on it was a red square for the Tandy 1000. So the controller, the base was all white, joystick was black, and the red button was a square. And I still have that joystick sitting around somewhere. It's probably at my parents' place. But I do remember that joystick quite clearly. That was the one I kind of grew up with. But I have used the Atari joystick in the past. My friends had an Atari, my next door neighbors, and I've tried out that joystick, and I didn't like it just as much as I didn't like my Tandy 1000 joystick. Paddle. The launch VCS also included a pair of paddle controllers, analog devices used to give the players more fine-grained control over games in the style of Pong. The paddles used the same technology as a volume control knob, sending a gradually increasing signal to the console as they were turned. Yeah, I've seen Stu use these, and I gotta say, I'm not impressed. I've seen you struggling with those, Stu, turning the dials constantly. It's like you're adjusting the antenna on your rotary system. Combat. If you find one Atari VCS game in someone's collection, it'll be Combat. That's because it was packed in with every VCS sold from 1977 to 1982. A multiplayer-only game, it had 27 different tank game modes, drawing inspiration from the Atari arcade games Tank and Jet Fighter. The original box, Combat, as well as the other early VCS games, were packaged in a gatefold-style box that could be opened like a book, revealing slots for the game cartridge and manual. This convenient but more expensive design quickly gave way to more standard boxes, which were sealed shut with glue and were thus often destroyed when opened. So it had Tank, Tank Pong, Invisible Tank, Biplane, and Jet Fighter. Interesting. Okay. What the hell? Combat's code. Like other Atari 2600 games, Combat was a very small program, made up of just 2 kilobytes of data. To put that in perspective, just the image shown here, which contains the entire Combat program and machine code, is more than 500 kilobytes in size. Can you go back to the picture of
the box front?
The box front? Yeah, so... Alright, give me a sec here. We're going to look at this first. Then we can look at the box in 3D, because you can actually rotate these boxes. Alright, so this is what you want to look at probably. So there you go, and then we can rotate it and see. It's rendered in 3D for our rotating pleasure. There you go.
You can tell that's the original box.
It is? Well, you would know more than anybody. I wouldn't know that.
First of all, it says 01 on the side.
Oh, what does that imply, though? That implies that it's the original?
All of the launch games were numbered.
Oh, interesting. Platform Atari 2600, release year 1977, which ironically...
01 is the score out of 10.
The score out of 10.
Second of all, the font on the front is all the same color. Later versions have the fonts with different colors.
Ah. So release year 1977. You know what else released in 1977? The very first Star Wars movie. Just a little pop quiz there. For many years, every Atari VCS console came with a copy of Combat. The 2-player military action game is based on 2 of Atari's arcade games produced under the Key Games label.
1970... And the TRS-80.
Yep. 1974's Tank and 1975's Jet Fighter. In a nod to its arcade origins, Sears renamed its version of this cartridge Tank Plus. Alright, let's hop into... Oh god, I played this game with Stu. I remember this game. I definitely remember this one. You and me played this. We streamed this together on your channel, and you kicked my ass. I'm already having flashbacks of how much I failed at this. How do I even accelerate here?
I think I played it, and you got played.
That's pretty much what happened, yeah. What is going on right now? What? Hold on. Alright, where's my accelerate? No, what? This is very confusing.
You're selecting modes.
No, because I'm playing... Oh, there we go. No, I had to figure out the accelerate. I guess you can't...
to accelerate.
I guess you can't play with the CPU in this, by the looks of it. So this is absolutely pointless for me to play, because there's no challenge here. Yeah, this is... really? How did he end up way down there?
I think you can play against the computer, but not sure now.
I don't know. I don't know how we would do that. Airplanes? Hang on. Let's look at the controls. Oh yeah, by the way, every single Atari game in this collection, I've never really shown any of you guys this, but every single Atari game that we've played actually has the scanned-in manuals. So you can actually, you have access to the full manuals that were scanned in from the original games. So this is also pretty cool. I mean, like, a lot of these collections, like, as an example, the Cowabunga collection, Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection, which is kind of the same thing. It has a whole bunch of videos and extra documentations and everything. They did the same thing. They scanned in all of the original manuals. And this is good for a collector, obviously, who just wants kind of all their Atari games digitally in one place, and have access still to the original, everything. The original manuals, the original flyers, the original concept art. It's actually really cool. But yeah, and every single game can be saved, so that's also a good plus. If you end up playing this and you get really far into a game, and then you decide you want to quit, you can go back out here and save your game. So that's always something nice. Air Sea Battle, one of the first batch of games released for the VCS. Air Sea Battle, like Combat, featured 27 different game variations that let players control anti-aircraft missiles, undersea torpedoes, or shooting gallery guns. Unlike Combat, it featured single-player modes, designed by Larry Kaplan, who would leave Atari in 1979 to co-found Activision. I have nothing positive to say about Activision. I really don't. I don't like that company, so, Anyway, we'll look at the game box for Stu, because he was intrigued. I think this will be number 1, too, probably. Oh, it doesn't even say number 1 on it.
See. This is a re-release box.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because the fonts are different colors. And no number.
Platform Atari 2600, release year 1977. One of the first 9 cartridges released for the Atari VCS in 1977.
Same for surround.
Air Sea Battle's military shooting gallery offered players the chance to destroy enemy airplanes and sink boats in a variety of game modes. Sears retitled this game Target Fun and packed it in with their licensed version of the Atari VCS, the Sears Telegames Video Arcade. Why do I feel like I played this with you on your channel too? This looks familiar as well. Okay. What? So I'm playing as the orange gun, I guess? Huh. Alright.
Stop farting.
I never. That is how I live, you silly American. They're farting on my enemies. This would be more fun with 2 players. This just seems... You know what it feels like? It feels like one of those shooting galleries at theme parks. Except I'm not winning a cuddly bear. Oh. Boy, you just dodged that one, I tell you what. Alright, I don't know how I feel about this with just one player. It feels like it's less fun. There's the original manual, or maybe the re-release manual, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if for I don't know if for real releases, if they had the original manual or the manual itself was a re-release as well. There's no back of the manual, which is kind of odd. All right. Well, that was interesting. Surround. You might know Surround by a different name, Snake. This simple game design, unofficially based on a 1976 arcade game called Blockade by the company Gremlin, sees two players maneuvering an ever-growing line until one of them crashes. Programmed by Alan Miller, another later co-founder of Activision. The original cover art that appeared on the box for Surround by artist Cliff Spone. That's cool. Interesting design. Alright. Platform Atari 2600, release year 1977. Two players attempt to trap their opponents inside perpetually extending walls in Alan Miller's action strategy game, which launched alongside the VCS. It also includes a creative video graffiti mode for budding digital artists. Oh, it really is a lot like Snake. All right. Wait, okay, am I blue or am I... I'm confused. Oh, I am blue. Alright. Okay, so I'm supposed to control both of these, I guess. No? Well, see... Okay. Okay. There is no point in playing these ones, because they're required for two players. And it doesn't look like you have the option of having the second player being controlled via a CPU. So there's no point. Because I'm just going to win every time, and there's not going to be a challenge. But we get the idea. It's a game of, you know, we have to make the other player kind of hit a wall that we ourselves draw in, essentially. I mean, it's cool, but it's definitely a game that needs two players. Single player, it's dumb. Yeah, it's a two. It says at the bottom anyway, 2-player game. So I don't. Wait a minute. Select games variation. Oh. Okay. Ah, here we go. Shit, I didn't see that before. Ah, damn. So I've been skipping all these 2-player games thinking that they were only 2-player. You just fucked yourself, buddy. Wham! Right in the wall. I'm yellow, by the way, guys. What are you doing? You are not very smart for a CPU. You're pretty dumb. What? Why is he... He's just boxing himself in every time. He's literally making the same mistake over and over and over. What? How did I not die there? Alright. Okay. The CPU is not very smart. It just kept on doing the same mistake over and over and boxing itself in, thereby losing. So I don't know how I feel about that. From arcade to home, a VCS version of a popular arcade game could be a big hit. But bringing a coin-operated game to the lower-powered home machine was easier said than done. Game designers David Crane, Gary Kitchen, and Todd Fry explain why porting an arcade game was an impossible challenge, but one they gladly took on.
The entire reason that Atari created the Atari 2600 home console was to put their arcade hits into the home. If we can sell home versions of our arcade hit games into the home, we can sell millions of them instead of just take quarters from the thousands of people who go to arcades. And so the hardware was designed to make it possible to play Tank and Pong. That's about all that they did in the hardware.
So the distinction is this. Coin-Op gets to use more expensive hardware. They get to use tons and tons of hardware, and they get to refresh their hardware all the time.
I had played an Outlaw-like game in the arcade. I think it was Midway. And you know, I was just told to make a game, so I said, well, here's an idea, two guys shooting at each other. And so I made that game. My goal is to try to make it like the arcade game, so I could look at the arcade game and say, this is what it has to do. So there really wasn't any need for me to have communication with the arcade guys. I'm particularly proud of the Atari 2600 Canyon Bomber because it also has the Atari arcade game Depth Charge in it. So it turns
Valley
out
Midway.
a 2K byte Atari 2600 cartridge, I simulated both Canyon Bomber and
They basically stole it as far as I know.
arcade game hardware.
When I was young, when I was little, I remember there was this drugstore, and in their comic book rack they had these abridged versions of great literature. You'd read it and it was the whole story of Treasure Island. War and Peace, a comic book. But that whole notion of an abridged version, that is what was going to happen.
When I did Donkey Kong, I had not
Todd Fry.
absolutely no contact with Nintendo. Coleco was able to get me a machine. So I had a machine that I could play and look at, and I had already played the game. And like David said, with Canyon Bomber, the game is the spec. Frankly, the hardware is so different in its capabilities that I can't think of any value I would have had getting in touch with anybody at Nintendo. It's like talking to the guy who created the Porsche Carrera about making a bicycle. I mean, it's like, there's not a lot
Do you
there.
notice he has a Stampede belt buckle?
Here's this masterpiece and do it on this toaster, you know.
I do.
was
I
young
don't like to
enough and
talk
stupid enough
when
to
there's
not be
videos
intimidated.
playing, but
I
I do
wasn't,
notice.
because
And it's also an Activision belt
it
buckle
was
too.
no big deal.
Alrighty, Atari's 1976 arcade game Outlaw let the players use a gun controller to aim at the screen and shoot a bandit. This VCS version keeps the Wild West shootout theming, but is a third-person game for 2 players. It was the first game created by David Crane, who would go on to co-found Activision and create celebrated VCS games like Pitfall. So we'll go into that in a sec. Oh, there's 2 games here.
This is called Outlaw, but it's basically just Gunfight by Bally Midway.
Ah, Canyon Bomber. Along with a game called Slot Machine, Canyon Bomber was one of the final games authored by David Crane to be released by Atari. It was something of an upside-down game of Breakout, in which the player bombed colored rows of bricks at the bottom of the screen. A separate mode, Sea Bomber, had the player aiming at submarines. Now, which one to play first is the question. What if we do the bottom up? Maybe. Yeah, maybe that's what we'll do. We'll start out with the bottom and go up. So here we go. So this is a re-release by the looks of it.
Outlaw is way better.
I don't doubt it, but I like to play everything. We're gonna cover everything on this stream. We're gonna cover every game. So we'll start with this, then we'll go to Outlaw. Platform Atari 2600, release year 1979. Atari's 1977 arcade game, almost like a reverse Breakout, where players drop bombs to destroy strata of bricks in a canyon below. Received a color
While
upgrade.
that may not be a re-release, only the original 9 launch titles had that same color font thing.
When David Crane created a port for the VCS, he also added a mode where players attack boats from their helicopters and dubbed it Sea Bomber. Alright, here we go. I think I remember you playing this with your son, actually. Wait a minute, though. I'm not controlling anything here.
Correct, I streamed this.
This isn't making any sense. I have no control. What am I doing? Okay.
You must be controlling the yellow one.
Yeah, no, I see the controls now. I was hitting the wrong buttons.
This is a lovely and well-made collection of games I don't want to play.
That's true, isn't it? Yeah. It's a collection of games none of us want to play except Stu. That's funny. I suppose the only difference being is that with this, I don't have to worry about whether it'll run or not. I don't have to go through an emulator and mess around with anything. I just pop this in, play this whenever I want, and not have to worry about, oh, is this going to run? Because everything's going to run. I got all of them, and I can save my game. If I get far in these things, I can save my game and progress, and it's pretty cool. All right, Outlaw. Look at the case for Stu.
Still, it's funny hearing you say, I was pressing the wrong button, when playing an Atari game.
Well, because I'm not using an Atari controller, right? I'm using PS5 controller. I don't know what buttons are mapped to what. I don't know what button is mapped to start or anything, because sometimes, some games it's the start button, some games it's the X button, some games it's the trigger button. So I'm sitting here pressing all the buttons, trying to figure out what I'm doing.
I know, but it's still funny.
Yeah. Outlaw. Platform Atari 2600, release year 1978. Programmer David Crane was asked to create a Western-themed shooting game. His response was for the VCS offers several creative two-player variations on the theme, as well as a target shooting game for single players. So let's do the single-player one. Can we do that? No, we can't.
His response was FKU.
Oh, there we go. There we go. One player, moving, stagecoach, normal. Oh god, I remember this. This is the game you and your son played. Am I just shooting at the cactus? Is this the point?
Yup, I streamed this also.
I know. I was there. Well, take that, you damn cactus. Alright.
More fun with 2 people, lol.
Yeah, no shit. Let's try another one of the variations first before we pop off. Moving stagecoach. It's stupid, because all you gotta do is time your shots right. Okay. I've seen enough of that. Yeah, no, I agree. This would make more sense if it was a 2-player. As single player, it just seems kind of pointless. It just seems repetitive and kind of boring, to be honest. 3D Tic-Tac-Toe. This early VCS puzzle game let 1 or 2 players attempt to make 4 in a row on a 3D game board. 3D Tic-Tac-Toe was the first game created by Carol Shaw, the first woman to become a full-time game designer. Shaw later designed the hit game River Raid. The original art used on the cover of 3D Tic-Tac-Toe by artist Susan Jekyll. Why is there a robot? So it's a kid playing tic-tac-toe with a dog and a creepy, sadistic-looking robot. Okay. Whatever. 3D Tic-Tac-Toe. Platform Atari 2600. Release year 1978. The first VCS game programmed by a woman. Carol Shaw's 3D Tic-Tac-Toe offers a more complex version of the classic 2-player strategy game. This time, spanning 4 stacked playfields. Shaw later created River Raid for Activision.
The robot looks like it should be painted on the side of a van.
Yeah. Let's do 1 player versus computer, extremely easy. Computer thinks for approximately a half a second. Sure. What the ever-loving... Okay, I have to... So you're playing on 4 boards at once. I see. Ha. Not sure how I feel about this. I know what you're doing. You're not getting X there. You're not getting 0 here. See what you are doing. Take that. Oh. You think you're sneaky, do you?
He doesn't get it.
What do you mean he doesn't get it? It's tic-tac-toe. What are you talking about? How do I not get it?
You'll see.
Oh, okay. Oh, damn. All right. Suddenly this becomes a lot more interesting. Okay. Well, I'll try one more round of this. Ooh, this is, okay.
Two 3D for me.
You know what it reminds me of, honestly, is 3D chess from Star Trek The Next Generation. Isn't it? Doesn't it feel like that? Oh, you motherfucker. You knew exactly what I was going to do. You fucker. Alright,
Original Trek, you mean?
no, The Next Generation. I don't mean the original Trek. I'm talking about the Next Generation had the 3D chess. Original had it too. 3D chess had it in 10 forward. They were on multiple tables. If you paid attention when you go into 10 forward, there's like multiple 3D chess pieces. You can actually buy that 3D chess as well.
Human play Domjot?
All right, I've really screwed that up. It's confusing. It's very confusing to me. I thought it.
Oh, you mean Star Trek?
I thought it was. See, it would have made more sense if it was just four tic-tac-tables, and you had to concentrate on all four. That would have made more sense to me. But now that I know that it's three-dimensional and all four kind of count as one, it's very confusing to me, and I can't wrap my head around it.
Have you ever played Parisi Squares on ColecoVision?
Parisi Square? No. I've never played a ColecoVision. Keyboard controllers. While the original VCS joystick was elegant in its simplicity, it did limit the types of games that the system could play. Released in December of 1978, the keyboard controllers were Atari's first attempt at solving this, giving the player a number pad style array of 12 buttons. Hunt and Score was a memory-matching game in which players flipped cards attempting to find similar pictures. That's basic. There's so many things.
The keyboard controller was used for exactly one game.
Yeah, probably. It was a gimmick, kind of like the Nintendo Power Glove. Codebreaker was a classic game in which the player had to guess a 3 or 4 digit number sequence and was told whenever they got a correct digit or a correct placement. I think I remember you playing that. Brain Games was a collection of various puzzle games from a designer, Larry Kaplan, including a version of Atari's arcade and handheld game Touch Me. An early advertisement for the Atari VCS that ran in Popular Mechanics magazine, since the concept of having a video game system in the home was so new.
What is he, Klingon?
Was so new. This ad was less about the VCS or its games, specifically, and more about the very idea of adding a game console to a home. We're the games you play on our own TV set. We're the Atari video game computer system. Remember Pong? Well, that was just the beginning.
I had this ad, and it was not from Popular Mechanics.
It was probably.
I had it from Games Magazine.
Well, dude, it was probably featured in more than one magazine, dude. Like, come on. Ads are featured in multiple magazines. The one that they grabbed this from was from Popular Mechanic. I don't think they mean that it was only featured in Popular Mechanic. They said no. It doesn't say it was only featured in Popular. It says it ran in Popular Mechanics magazine, meaning that they grabbed this particular ad from Popular Mechanics magazine. It's not saying that it was the only one featured in Popular Mechanics. Activision. Around this time,
reels too.
Atari developers Larry Kaplan, Alan Miller, David Crane, and Bob Whitehead came to the realization that the games they had developed for VCS had brought in tens of millions of dollars in profit, but they were paid very low salaries and did not receive credit for their work. They quit Atari and formed Activision, gaming's first third-party console developer.
Again with Larry Q. Apla.
I don't freaking know how to pronounce his name. Come on. Notable and quotable.
It's pronounced Kaplan.
Okay, fine. We were responsible for making 16 million. Oh God, Stu, why you gotta make me laugh? Shit. We were responsible for making $16 million at Atari, and we were getting paid $20,000. David Crane, creator of Pitfall.
Says you.
Notable and quotable. The Monday I started was the Monday after the Friday that 3 of the Activision 4 left in early August 1979. Well, that was a bunch of talent that left, and it turns out that they weren't completely irreplaceable. Todd Fry, creator of Sword Quest. More companies, more cartridges. Activision proved a third-party company could make games and profits by developing new cartridges for the VCS. Another group of Atari employees left to form iMagic in 1981. Over the next few years,
creator of the shitty Pac-Man port.
Over the next few years, many companies began publishing Atari VCS games, including media giants like CBS Electronics and 20th Century Fox. Toy and board game makers like Coleco, Mattel, Milton Bradley, Parker Brothers, and Avalon Hill, and future gaming powerhouses Sega and Konami. I think we've looked at everything here. Ooh, adventure. Now I know what this is. This was the inspiration for Colossal Cave. At least, yeah, this was one of the inspirations for Colossal Cave. If not, no, this was Colossal Cave.
Wikipedia, he took 6 months to make that shitty Pac-Man port. I don't think he should be talking.
Another landmark VCS game released in 1980 was Adventure. Creator Warren Robinette was inspired by the 1977 text-based game Colossal Cave Adventure to create a similar, non-linear adventure game for the VCS. It is considered to be the start of the adventure genre of video games, in which players explore worlds while finding and using items. In this video feature, game designers Cliff Bleszinski from Gears of War, Todd Fry from Sword Quest, and Tim Schafer from Psychonauts discuss the tremendous impact that Adventure had on the world of video games and on them personally. So we're going to look at that video in a second. Adventure is also known for hiding one of the first...
Adventure, but it was not the start of the adventure genre.
Adventure is also known on Atari. On Atari. They're not saying in general, they're saying on Atari. Adventure is also known for hiding one of the first secret Easter eggs in video games, since Atari designers still did not get public credit for their work. Warren Robinette hid his name in the game if the player went through an elaborate sequence of moves. Created by Warren Robinette. There you go. Looks like it says Robihette. Robihette. Okay. Secret revealed. The existence of this Easter egg was a surprise even to Atari, and spread by word of mouth once it was found. But in the first issue of Atari Age magazine in May 1982, Atari officially spilled the
I think
beans,
he hid his name in the game even if the player didn't go through an elaborate sequence of moves.
Atari officially spilled the beans, explaining how to pull off the trick, while noting that the credits were hidden by the game's sneaky programmer. Dear Atari, my brother was playing Adventure and he was in the Black Castle's Grey Dungeon. He took the bridge and went into a small part which is surrounded by walls. When he was inside, he picked up a dot. Please tell me what this dot is and what it can do. Kathleen Gallagher, Novato, California. Or is that Calgary? I don't know. Your brother has found the first step in revealing a secret message locked deep within the Adventure cartridge by the programmer who designed it. Most people only find the dot by taking the blue bridge and laying it across some walls in the Grey Dungeon until it appears. But you've already completed that step. Now for the second step. Move the secret dot into the secret panel room. How do you get there? If you come out of the yellow castle down to the main path and go
Atari
right.
Basically, after making this, he went to work for the Learning Company and made cult classic Rocky's Boots, which gets a low.
If you come out of the yellow castle down to the main path and go right, keep going to the right until you crash into a thin black wall. You've actually crashed into the secret panel that lets you into the secret room. Moving the secret dot into this room won't open the secret panel, but you're getting closer. Leave the secret dot there and go on to the next step. Go grab any 2 more objects and bring them into the secret panel room where the secret dot is. Did the secret panel start blinking? Then you are ready for the final step. Take a deep breath and hold it. Good magic. Then pass through the secret panel very carefully, and you've done it. Unlock the secret of Adventure. We congratulate you, and so does sneaky programmer Warren Robinette.
Sorry for interrupting you, I didn't mean to. It's hard to time your bot.
No, you're good, Stu. Don't worry about it. Alright, so we're going to watch this video. We're going to then play Adventure, and then we're going to call it a stream for tonight. We made some pretty good progress here. We're already at 2 hours and 13 minutes. So we're going to watch this video, which features Cliff Bleszinski, also known as Cliffy B, from the creator of Gears of War, Todd Fry, the creator of Sword Quest, and Tim Schafer, the creator of Psychonauts and the founder of... what the hell is their game company name? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's watch the video.
I'd have to say one of the more influential Atari games that hit me hard was
Double Fine.
Adventure had been a very popular game.
Yes, Double Fine,
Adventure
thanks.
is related to really a nerdy game. It's related to like text adventures or to Dungeons and Dragons more than any of the other things, any of the other intellectual property or content on the 2600.
So many games were just like kind of shooters and, you know, combat and whatnot, things like that were very simple. But Adventure really broke the mold for what the 2600 was capable of.
But one of the most, like, I feel like magical, impactful moments with the Atari games is that we got Adventure, and I saw the cover at the drugstore, because that's where we had to buy video games, at the drugstore behind the photo counter. And we got it home. I was so excited to play it. I just didn't read the instructions. I just ripped it out of the box and like played it and started playing it. And I was like, oh, and there's a dot, and there's like, you know, the duck chasing me, and I got an arrow, and I can't figure out what's happening. He ate me. Oh my God.
The weird thing about Adventure was the dragons were supposed to be dragons, but they just looked like ducks. I don't know what they were thinking there.
The bridge and the bat, and it was so baffling. I really loved that experience of somewhat confused experience, and I feel like that's actually something I love still in games now, when there's that moment of like, what the, where you just get, games can do that. They can just surprise you, and they can make you feel really bewildered, and then as you slowly figure out how they work, that's part of the pleasure of them, I think, is that not knowing what to expect in them. So that moment of being surprised by Adventure has really stuck with me. Another thing I like about Adventure that I try to incorporate is that feeling that the game is really alive. The characters who are in that world live even when you're not looking at them on the screen. Like when the dragon or the bat flies on the screen in Adventure, you feel like it's been on a journey. It's been somewhere. Oh, the bat went over and it stole the shield. It stole the sword, and now it's in the room. It's like you don't feel like it was just spawned in that room. It's been in another room doing bat adventures.
And what it provided for me was a sense of mystery and exploration that would later influence the 2D adventure games that I would make that would help launch my career.
That's right. I forgot about that, actually. Cliff Bleszinski is also the creator of Jazz Jackrabbit. That would have been way before Gears of War. But one of his first side-scrolling games was Jazz Jackrabbit 1 and 2. He was heavily involved in that design. And before he formed his own company, Epic Games, he actually worked for Apogee.
He's not talking about that.
I know he's not. I'm just bringing that up. I didn't say he was talking about that, Stu. Stop putting words in my mouth. I'm just saying that he also worked for Apogee for many years.
He made some adventure games, Palace of Deceit, and Dare to Dream.
Yeah, I know. I remember Dare to Dream. It was interesting. They did a remake of Dare to Dream not that long ago.
Those were his first games, I think.
Mm-hmm. They did a remake of Dare to Dream not that long ago. With high-definition visuals. It was actually really good. I'm surprised you never covered it on your channel. You should look into it. It's a good game. So this, again, maybe not the original box, or maybe it is. Hard to say. Anyway, we're going to hop into...
I never heard of it until just now.
Dare to Dream? You never heard of Dare to Dream? It was a horror game. Dare to Dream was a horror game series. Do you remember Last Half of Darkness?
Remake.
Oh. Do you remember Last Half of Darkness? It was in that style. Dare to Dream was kind of like that style. If I remember correctly, it was like it was kind of like that. All right, so let's give Adventure a go.
I prefer the first half of Darkness.
The first half. All right, Adventure, platform Atari 2600, release year 1980. Warren Robinette was inspired to create Adventure by Text Adventure Games, little knowing his graphical dungeon crawling game would in turn inspire other designers in the decades to come. In an act of defiance against Atari's rules against crediting its programmers publicly, Adventure contains the first Easter egg, a hidden secret with Robinette's name in console gaming. All right, I don't actually know what I'm doing here, so yeah. There's my dot. There's my key. I guess I bring the key to the gate. Yes. I got an arrow here. Leave the key behind. I'm assuming this is my weapon. Oh, okay, there's a dragon.
I barely knew horror games were even a thing in the 80s.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were a thing in the 80s. Oh, no. How do I... What's these... Oh, that's a sword. That's not an arrow. Okay. I'm a moron. I get it now. I have to... Am I trapped inside the dragon?
Did you never play Hugo's House of Horrors?
Hugo's House of Horrors. Oh, shut up. Jesus Christ.
That was 90s, silly Stu.
Yeah, that was the 90s. That was the early 90s. Hugo's House of Horrors was not the 80s. As a matter of fact, I don't even... What horror games would have been out in the 80s? Mostly text-based. There was a lot of text-based adventure games.
It was worryifying.
Yeah, though I hated the Hugo games because the parser interface was terrible. The text, not the parser interface, the text interface was terrible.
Haunted House for Atari.
Half the time, Haunted House is in this collection, Stu. Both the original and a high-definition remake. Haunted House is in this collection, and it's a lot of fun. Dude, I am addicted to that game. That's actually one of my favorite games in the Atari collection. Oh, what? Now I'm moving the dot. No, what am I doing? What? Hold on, I'm so confused. To move. I don't know what this thing is that I'm carrying.
Haunted House got a terrible remake in the mid-2010s.
No, they did a remake of Haunted House.
You took the bridge.
Oh, that's a bridge. Okay. What? Are you sure that's a bridge? So I can cross it? Oh, yeah. Okay. But I don't...
I like the ducks.
The ducks. They're supposed to be dragons, but you know.
Press the button to let go of objects if you need to.
Yeah, what I need to do is find a key. Because that portcullis is not going to open for me unless I have a key. Because this sword is not going to do me any favors. At least not until I find the dragon duck.
It's not in this maze.
Oh. Still giving spoilers. God damn it. No, it's fine. Let's go this way. No. Alright, let's go down here. Oh! There you go. There's the key. Stop it! I want the key. There we go. Alright. What? Okay. Here we go.
Level 1 is relatively easy. Level 2 is way, way, way harder.
I imagine it's gonna get more and more challenging. Oh, the key's following me now. Oh, it's a magnet. Okay. What? Oh, God. Is it just me, or does the sound of picking up and dropping the key just reminds me of in Police Quest 1 when you opened and closed the police squad car door. Like it's literally the same sound effect. Just pointing that out.
Well, I think it's the same sound.
It is. It totally is the same sound. Yeah. How do I get rid of this drive? So I have to... Okay, so...
Police Quest, Medieval Times.
Yeah. So I have to go back down and get that sword again. Holy shit. So this is not only the first adventure game, but it's the first adventure game with needless backtracking. It's like the same shit. Go, oh, yeah, okay, well, you got this. You delivered that. Now you gotta go back.
Yes, we've got Sunny Bonds.
You know the reference, Sunny Bonds, right? Please tell me you know what it's referencing. All right. Jim Walls stated that Sunny Bonds was actually a reference to Sunny.
An old adventure game with gratuitous backtracking.
Right, exactly.
Of course.
Even
I
modern.
the reference.
even modern games have gratuitous backtracking. It happens so often. I was playing a game earlier today, a modern day adventure game. It's the same shit. You're going back and forth, back and forth. Oh, you got this object, but now you need this object that's back there, but you can only carry one thing at a time, so you got to go back, grab that object, and come back and get that object. And it's nuts. And I understand why, because it allows for more playtime and whatnot, but at the same time, it's just tedious. Right. Why is the bridge not working now? What?
$5 says Grotto ends up in the dragon's tummy despite having the sword.
Maybe. Probably. I can
I
guarantee.
feel like that's bad design now. The genre has developed enough to avoid tedious stuff like that.
You would think so.
You moved the bridge too far away.
I know that, Stu. I'm gonna have to go. So what? Did I just screw myself? Is that what just happened? Am I now screwed? Oh no! Hold on. What if? Okay. How do I get to the?
No, there's another way to get there. Go up.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see what you're talking about. So, what I need to get to is the middle section, to be honest, because that'll lead me to the castle. But I kind of wish I didn't put that bridge in that stupid spot. Oh.
Not that way.
Oh my
Stop.
god. Okay. Waiting for your guidance.
There you are.
What? So just go up here? That doesn't lead me anywhere.
Go right or left from here.
Like up here? Right and left? Oh, okay. There we go. That is confusing as hell.
Other way.
No, I got it. I'm at it.
Yes.
It doesn't help that there's a delay. There's a delay between you and me. So... What am I doing? Okay.
Too bad nobody took me up on the $5.
I didn't get killed by the dragon, though. What is that? What is this?
Take the chalice back to the starting castle.
Okay. Oh my god. I gotta go through all this mess again. Okay,
I do not have $5. I am that broke.
you shouldn't be encouraging Stu's nasty gambling habits anyway. Okay, so I've succeeded in bringing the goblet to the castle. My character had a seizure And now I can't play anymore. Oh, 1.
You're winner.
I'm a winner? What? Now I'm just playing the same game over? I am confused.
Try level 2.
Hang on. Is there a way to, Oh. Huh.
Perhaps the real adventure was the friends we made along the way. I doubt it.
It's like an 80s thing to say. Perhaps the real thing we learned is the friends we made along the way. Oh my god. Alright, so I think we're going to end the stream here, guys. We're at 2 hours and 30 minutes in. As you guys know, I only like to really go for about 2 hours. I don't like to go any longer. There's the odd time where I went for 6 hours in a game and I regret it. And the one time when I went for like 17 hours, which we're not going to talk about. But that was Atari. That's the second part of Atari's 50th game anniversary collection on the PS5. We made some pretty good headway. If you missed the first part, simply go over to my playlist section. You'll see the first part of the Atari 50th anniversary collection game, where we covered a lot of the early arcade games which were not in homes. So this part is featuring the arcade, the Atari games that were featured on the home consoles. And then as we go on and on and on throughout the history of Atari and all the games, we'll get into the 2000s, the early 2000 games, and we'll cover those as well. So that's it for tonight. Thank you very much to Always Asleep, Stu's Game Reviews, Lewis, and Dorian. There we go, Dorian. I got the name on the top of my head. I'm like, it starts with a D. Anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight, and thank you, Mac, as well, for tuning in to insult me multiple times. You're a great friend, I guess. Anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I will see you soon at the Gamers Grotto. If you miss any of my previous games, check out my playlist section. I have a joint collaboration.
Thank you for streaming. I shall try to watch more.
You're very welcome, Dorian. I'm glad you enjoyed for the small amount that you did see. But yeah, if you miss any of my previous games, go over to my playlist section. I also have the joint collaboration section where I work with YouTubers like Stu's Game Reviews and Olaf Productions. We also have the Pirates of the Geek Vortex. Oh, I'll join that. I will definitely join that, Stu. We also have the Pirates of the Geek Vortex podcast in the playlist section. That runs every Friday at 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we discuss the latest movies, TV shows, board games, video games, card games, all nerdy stuff. So if you want to check those podcasts out, please do so. And I will see you guys soon at the Gamers Grotto. Tune in soon. We're going to run into part 3 of the Atari collection. We're going to continue doing the Atari collection from now on until we finish it, and we'll go back to the other live streams and finish those as well. So thank you once again, guys. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you soon at the Gamers Grotto. Take care once again. We'll see you on Stu's Game Reviews in about 5 minutes' time. Take care.